Hello, Ray here, and today I'm going to teach you how to make glitchy drum loops that sound kind of like this. So in a different video, I'm going to explain how to do all this from scratch using multiple Citrus instances to get the bass drum or the kick drum, the snare, and the hats built from scratch, and then take clean sounds and mangle them up to get all those glitchy tones. Here, I'm just going to use samples in a drum kit to kind of speed up the process and go about what my process is during the kind of the mix down to get all those glitchy sounds. So a lot of it, spoiler alert, is going to be just flanging and delay. But let's get some drum samples in this FPC to start. Okay, these are actually already distorted sounds I made. So I guess we'll go with F kick. I'll go with this as my snare. I can use both hats. And I'm just going to create a pattern in a 6/8 here. Let's go to the pattern. No, that's a mistake. Okay. I want to get a snare roll in there, I think. Something like this. No, I think I'll put the kick there. And then let's just... I usually like to do this more hats, but we'll just use 2 for now. All right, so there we go. We got some kind of 1 bar drum loop in 6/8 to work with. And next, what I'm going to do is just put this pattern. Actually, I don't even need to put it in the arrangement yet. Oops, those are being sent to different. Those are being sent to different mixer tracks, so I have to change that really quick. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is just mangle up the sound with some flanger, or I'll go with the flangus or flangus. I actually don't know how you're supposed to pronounce that. I never say it out loud. I'll just use the 4 drums preset just to speed things up. So it gives it a bit of a stereo image right off the bat. Next, I'll just kind of manually add some comb filtering, just cut out frequencies randomly to give it more of a synthetic kind of sound. I'll just cut a bunch of spots. So I'll also, I think I'm going to high pass just to get out any sub that I don't want. And then next, I'm going to add a delay. And this is really where a lot of the glitch is going to come out. You want to turn tempo sync off so that you can mess with the time control in milliseconds. And then the next step is to add an Edison because we want to record some sounds. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit record. I'm going to open up the delay, and I'm going to start playing the pattern. And just start playing around with the time knob. I should stop recording there. And I'm going to mess around with some other parameters, but mostly a lot of the glitch is going to come out of just messing around with this time control here. So we'll just add a few more hits. All right, so now if we play this back, we have some interesting things to work with. We can just take individual hits and kind of place them in the arrangement view to make a glitchy loop. So I don't know if that was supposed to be a snare or a kick. But now we have some interesting things to chop in. So normally what I would do is I would actually cut these and paste them into a different Edison, and then with this envelope or volume envelope editing, I would kind of de-click in and out. But I'm not going to do that here for the sake of time. I'm just going to drag into the playlist for a loop. But this will help get rid of any clicks and pops at the end of samples as you drag them in. But I won't do that. And here I'll just kind of mix down the volume envelopes. So I'm just going to drag that sound in as well as this one. And I'm also going to place the pattern in the arrangement. We'll do 4 bars. I would usually make every bar a bit different, give it some variation. But again, just for the sake of time, I'm going to keep it as the same loop. But for the glitchy stuff, I'm going to make sure that it's different for each bar. And now we just kind of place the glitches where other drum hits are and see how they mix together. We also probably have to turn these down in amplitude. Let's see. Yeah, this is a kick hit right here, so I think that glitch kick can match up with that. This here, I think the snare, if I go back to the original pattern, I think the velocity was kind of low for that. Yeah, it's not that much lower than a normal hit, but enough to make a difference. So I think I want to turn this down quite a bit. Actually, I'll just do 1 bar. Let's see here. Where is that Edison? Let's just find some other hits that are fun. Oops. I'll take that. Take that. Ooh, this sounds cool. Gets kind of a roll. All right. Ooh. Actually, I already like where that's placed. Don't really need to do too much except maybe mess around with the envelope a bit. So. Let's get another glitched snare hit. I'll just take this entire thing in and chop it up. Oops, Alt-C, Alt-C, that's what I wanted. I should probably set this to none so I can actually line the hits up better. think that's a kick, so I'm going to put that there. We'll just move that up. So when you select things, just in case anyone was wondering, you can just hit Shift and an arrow key, and that'll move it over. So that's just a little workflow tip if you need it. All right, I want to get a hat and line it up with a kick here. This has got to be a kick. And there's probably a hat layered over with that, so I'll just pull this in. Oh, shoot. Okay. Maybe here I actually will mess with this. So I'm going to copy it and open up another Edison instance. And then I'll paste it here, because I don't like how abrupt that is. So there we go. And I think overall I'll add some reverb, and so that should help with some of the abruptness of some of these hits as well. But I'll just mix down this amp envelope and pull that in there. And we'll also turn the volume down. And let's see, the next step is to get all of these back into this. Let's just delete all of this. So where is everything? All right, so drums are on mixer track 2. And now it's time to compress everything, EQ everything, and actually mess it up a bit more. So maybe we can put a flangus back on. Flangus, whatever. All right. Just arbitrary mixing decisions that sound good to my ears. I mean, every loop is going to require something different, but I kind of like how that sounds. And then I'll compress, reverb, and then probably soft clip, and then call it good. Where's the Maximus? Here we go. Another thing that I want to do is I added a lot of phase cancellations and stereo image with this process, but I don't want that to be in the low end. So I'm actually going to set the stereo separation to 100% merged in Maximus. And that's going to take the overall level of the bass down a bit because I'm merging waveforms that are offset a bit, and so they're phase canceling and bringing down the overall level. Which is not desirable, so we're just going to boost those back up a bit. And we're also going to compress. And I want to have slow time controls on the bass hits, or the lower hits. I don't even know if I set the band at the right spot. No, it's fine. The default spot's fine for this. the mids, I want to have faster time controls. And then we'll just do some saturation. Another thing that I like to do with this is some New York compression, but I'm not going to do that for this instance. It sounds pretty good already. Oh yeah, some reverb. I just want to add a touch, not a lot, just to give it a sense of having been recorded in a real space. So reverb 2. I want to turn the bass down so it's not, the bass multiplier, so it's not too muddy. I'll set the cross around 300 hertz or something. You still want there to be some bass reverb. You don't want to cut out all the reverb in the bass, otherwise it doesn't sound very natural. You just don't want so much that it's muddy. And I think that's it. I don't really need a soft clipper because the peaks after turning down the mix gain are about 6 dB. But yeah, that's how I go about making a glitch kind of drum loop. That's how I would do it from samples. So in a follow-up video, I'll go about how to make some of these kicks and snares from scratch, and then how to make hats as well. And then how to go through this entire process, starting with Citrus instances and then doing this flanger, delay nonsense to get kind of glitchy sounds. So look for that in a follow-up video. Thanks for tuning in, especially if you made it all the way to the end. Hopefully I wasn't rambling too much. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments, or tweet at me. Or whatever, I don't know. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. I hope this was helpful for your own production.